Hey, Doberman fanciers, are you thinking about adding a Doberman to your family? And you're concerned that it is kind of crucial to find a breeder who understands the breed. In this series that Dabrowski Dobermans is going to be doing, we will be equipping you with perfect questions to ask potential breeders, helping you uncover if they have any expertise in the breed, any true knowledge and understanding of what constitutes a healthy Doberman Pinscher in the current gene pool, which is obviously pretty polluted with a lot of dogs that seem to be producing a lot of death and destruction. We want to know if our breeder actually understands what health testing is actually health testing and what it means. What does it mean when we say we have a health tested dog? Are we safe? Am I safe with health tested dogs? Am I safe with titled dogs? Lots of titles behind their name or in front of their names. Does that make a difference? We need to be able to assess a breeder's knowledge of not only their titles and their dogs themselves and the accolades, but we need to ask the right questions. Because if we don't ask the right questions, we get the wrong answers, don't we? So what are the right questions? What are the questions that you, as a puppy buyer, need to be asking your breeder? Are you doing research into the next breeder that you want to get a puppy from? Is that breeder breeding dogs for show? Is that breeder breeding dogs for working lines? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between a dog with titles on the back end and actual dogs that were bred specifically for working, instead of just a pretty face and a pretty conformation that breeder can then predict what those puppies are going to look like? So do you want to know what is the most important question to ask a Doberman breeder? Do you think you know what those questions are? Is the first question you're going to ask that Doberman breeder, have you done health testing? What is the health testing you've done? Where did you get your dogs? How long have you been in the breed? Do you know what constitutes a healthy line in the Doberman Pinscher today? These are all questions that I, Diva Denisov of Dabrowski Dobermans, will be addressing because no one else is. Not even the Doberman breeders, not the Doberman breeders, but the doctors, the cardiologists that are touting what's important to know in a Doberman line and this health testing emphasis. And the emphasis on, oddly enough, a health screening test that's done by Embark, which is a health screening test. Do you know what health testing versus health screening is? Do you know what the DNA tests are actually telling you when you get your results back? Do you know that a lot of that information that you're getting is false and not related to perhaps your line of Dobermans? Did you know that Embark health testing that supposedly screens the Doberman for DCM is false? Do you know that testing modality is dated and the information that's being promoted by even big name veterinarians is dated and wrong and false? And I'm here to stand and tell you that I know the peer-reviewed research. I know the studies because I've spent the last 15 years studying the pedigree of the Doberman Pinscher. I was very fortunate to be mentored by somebody who knows the Doberman Pinscher genetics better than any other breeder on the planet. She was my mentor and has still been my mentor. And I have learned things that nobody is talking about. Nobody. There is no place that you can go other than here and get that information. So the series I'm going to be conducting is for puppy buyers and puppy buyers only. I'm not addressing breeders because they don't want to listen. Nobody wants to listen when it requires they have to change and stop doing what they're doing and lose money, because it's always about the money. How many dollars do they have invested in their stock? And are they willing to retire, neuter, alter, or remove them from the breeding gene pool? And they're not. So I am going to do a deep dive for puppy buyers, and I'm going to do a series of videos that I'll be posting on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, I am attempting to build up above and beyond my Facebook page, and my website is currently under reconstruction. So you can't find me on my website. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you're seeing this video, Dobrewski Dobermans on Facebook is there. Also, Dobrewski Dobermans on YouTube. Now, I have a YouTube website that is youtube.com at Ms. Divina 1. That's MSMSDIVINA and the numeral 1. It's linked to my Gmail account, so that is my Gmail email. So for those of you that would like to follow this series that I am going to conduct to educate puppy buyers to be able to ask the questions that make the difference between you finding a true knowledgeable breeder who understands and is committed to the health and longevity of the breed, and people who talk a big game on their website saying, we've done massive amounts of research into our lines and we came to the conclusion that these were the best lines available. Well, they've come to that conclusion because they didn't ask the right questions. Nobody mentored them either. In fact, some of the largest breeders out there are the most egregious offenders in contributing to the early death of our dogs. So if you yourself has seen your dog drop dead of DCM, dilated cardiomyopathy, like so many others, just drop dead playing ball, that's called sudden death DCM. And that particular type of DCM is not testable. But the way you find it is by learning how to research a pedigree correctly and properly, and understanding the number of dogs that are in that pedigree that carry DCM, sudden death, is indicated by when they died, and it's listed in most reputable breeders' pedigrees. Oftentimes, you will not even see what's called the cause of death, but you'll see the age. So if you do not see the cause of death, you know they're hiding it. They don't want you to know that the dog died of confirmed DCM. So I'm going to help you by showing you pedigrees that are healthy and pedigrees that are not healthy, and I'm going to help you by teaching you the very first questions that you want to ask of a potential breeder. And I'm going to tell you what the most recent studies into the various lines of Dobermans available that was published 18 months ago, that is a peer-reviewed. It was done by dobehealth.org, Embark themselves, and the Doberman Diversity Project. The upshot of that I'll be sharing with you in a post. I've been preaching this education for 10 years on my Dobrewski Dobermans page. I am not the only breeder who's breeding for longevity, and I'm certainly not the only breeder that knows this stuff. And nor could I provide puppies for everybody. So this isn't about me garnering all the business. It's about me helping the average buyer who, like myself, was ignorant when I bought my first dog 15 years ago. So if you want to follow along, I'll be posting these on YouTube in the coming days. So thanks for following, and I hope that you'll follow me there. Good luck. we can learn a lot together.